I want to hear them. All right, guys, we're here with the new recent Cali Pro champion, Antoine Vaillant. There's no so congratulations, Antoine. I'm also here with, do we say owner, CEO, mastermind, DH of HD, Dorian Hamilton. So we'll start with you, Antoine. I know Dorian played a big role in your success there. You've been great for a very long time, but had trouble one way or another, injuries and whatnot, and you made your way back. And the entire bodybuilding world is so proud of you. Everyone, that's all you would hear is like, what a great story, what an amazing accomplishment for such a great guy. I mean, that must feel good to know that everything you've been through, everybody loves you. Everybody. You have fans. Well, I'm sure there's somewhere just like me. It's a good friend of yours. But listen, first of all, congratulations again. What did you guys come up with that changed so rapidly? Or was it a rapid change? Did he not change that much and he just didn't really get the look in New York or Tampa? Or did he really drastically change? Was it a 15-pound change? Well, this is what people want to know. Like, or was it the lights? Or was it the judges? Or what, was it the presentation? I hear you talking about posing with Flex. What was the biggest change that happened?
Yeah, so the biggest change, I mean, even when he competed in New York, I didn't feel like he was that far off. I knew he was flat, and I know Antoine's got a big frame, and for him to really pop, he has to be full and he has to be pushing. But we were happy with his condition. But after seeing him up there with the bigger guys, we knew right away that hey, he needs to be fuller. He needs to be pushing harder on the skin. And I think he faded quite a bit on the pre-judging, but then in the night show, we figured out a couple little tricks. And you will notice in his posing routine, he was fuller, he was popping harder. So we took the judges' feedback, we spoke to the judges, spoke to Tyler, take that all into account. They didn't like his posing. There was a bunch of poses where he was crunching down, he was making himself small. Ben Pekulski was awesome. He introduced us to Flex Wheeler. Flex lived in Vegas, we were in Vegas. So we linked up with him, and Flex tweaked a whole bunch of poses. We actually have a YouTube video on HT Muscle, and you can kind of see, you can learn a lot from that video for posing for any division. So I think the posing was a major part of how it transitioned to stage. And, you talk to some people and they might say, oh, he looks like his conditioning wasn't on point. What did he do? Did he do 3 hours of cardio all the week? And it's like, no, we didn't do any cardio. It wasn't conditioning. It was fullness. He wasn't pushing on the skin. His muscles were a little bit empty. They were depleted. So we did no cardio all week. We did 1,000 grams of carbs. His body was soaking it all up. We even on Wednesday, we had to push it even up to probably 1,300. We had to go and have In-N-Out burger. We gained 4 pounds between the shows. So that extra fullness just makes a big difference because he's got such a big frame. It was just pushing fullness and then correcting the poses. And I feel like there's a lot of guys that have really great physiques, but if you don't know how to display your physique and transition that to the stage, you're cutting yourself short. So I think it was 2 small things that made a very, very big difference. So
you were able to leapfrog the 4 guys from the previous week. Right. I'm not sure I've ever seen that in a week. What I did notice was you did look more conditioned because you were fuller. That's a rare thing. A lot of people are like, I need to be fuller. I'm way fuller, I'm going to be harder. Not usually. It happens, but rarely do you see it work to that degree where you actually, your glutes were way sharper, way, they could have been good in New York, but the lighting didn't allow to see it. But you were absolutely peaked perfectly. I don't think you could have been any better. and you did it quick. So congratulations to both of you guys. So moving forward, what's the plan here? Because you're such a big guy that even if you were 267 on stage, that tells me you could hold 277. And what is the goal as far as what do you see? Do you think you need to get bigger, or are you happy where you're at?
Well, Ben Pekulski said I can add 50 pounds of muscles more. Yeah, only on Instagram. But yeah, he said 50 pounds of more muscles, and if I can, keep my legs the same and have most everything about the body, I think I can be up there with the big guys, right? I think I'd be up there because I have some strong points I think that some of the people don't have, like the legs, the separation, the conditioning, and I'm sure that some people who are like 280 pounds on stage, like Kuklo's, big. I need to be big like Kuklo. And I think if I can bring my own separation, I think I can actually be a really good bodybuilder. And we'll see at the Olympia eventually, but because I don't plan on this being my only one. And for this one though, we're going to back off the legs. We'll do legs maybe 85% every 2 weeks for a little bit, and then maybe put it back every week near the end. But by doing that, all the nutrients I'm going to take, all the food I'm going to take, won't be spent too much on recovering this and more on this. Because if my weak point is back, chest, and arms, and then I'm training this so hard, my legs so hard, they take all the food probably. So we're going to try some things and to make my upper body bigger. And I really believe I can add real bigger muscle fibers for the Olympia. I got 13 weeks and I'm in a good condition now, so I have a good metabolism. So we're gonna push the food a little bit, and he's very good at that. He's gonna, every morning I send him a check-in video on a check-in video on WhatsApp, and I send him my weight. He looks at it and he's like, okay, do the same thing or do this diet. And he modifies my carbs. So the whole diet with Dorian is that we push with the cardio, we push with the lower days. And then, okay, now we've done that for a few days, maybe 4. And then he looks at me, all right, he fills me back up for 2 days. And now we see the improvement. Okay, we got more detail here, he's fuller. All right, well now this is what the look we have. Let's push another 4 or 5 days or maybe 3 days. And this is all like hands-on every day. He looks at me and he decides. And it was cool because being with him every day in the same hotel before Cali and stuff, I was doing that like multiple times a day. I was waiting, he said, go weigh yourself and let's hit a couple shots. They would look at me like multiple times a day. I would have like a evaluation by a great coach. And then we did that all the way up to the show. And that's why sometimes it was like, oh shit, now I think we gotta push more food. I ended up like eating for Cali Pro, like 450 grams of rice with a heaping scoop of honey per meal. So it's like, it's a lot of food. And then at meal 600 grams of potatoes. So it's like a lot of carbs, but my digestion, we figured it out, was very good. Flat stomach, eat it. And my weight would stay the same sometimes. It's like, so where does it go? Where does it all go? Like, so we really figured it out, stuff with digestion. I learned a lot with this trip, and I know I can eat a lot of food, gain more muscle, and keep the waist the same. I measure my waist, it's like in the morning and stuff, I just doing like that, it's 35 inches. People say, oh, I thought it would be smaller. No, this is my real, big guy. But when I was 17 years old, I think it was 34. So it's like I didn't gain much waist size, right? And but so I can add muscle without making my waist bloated. People say, oh, the guys that at the GH got on stage, most of the time it's just like they want to be so full, they eat so much food, and they don't digest well. They have a bloated stomach. So you gotta figure out the digestion. There's a lot of things people make mistakes, and they get bloated because they eat so much food to be full. Because now I understand why, you gotta be full on stage, because if you're not, you get smoked. Like Justin Rodriguez backstage at the New York Pro, he was so huge. His arms, his chest, I was like, oh my God, like, I look like a swimmer compared to him in my head, So I had to adjust, and we did, and it worked. So I knew for the Olympia, if I go flat, I'll be last place. If I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably gonna be last place if I'm flat. But we won't. We know what we did, we're gonna improve on that, and I know for 13 weeks going on, the following 13 weeks, I can train hard, eat perfectly, and do everything I gotta do. And most of all, what I learned is that I don't pose enough. I thought I did in the morning, I posed a little bit, but Flex really made me feel like a rookie. I gotta pose way more, I gotta practice that. And one of my goals for the Olympia if I'm not the best or the biggest, at least I'm going to be the one who can be the most comfortable on stage. Of all, like, I can maybe I want to outpost all of them. So that's one of my goals, and I'm going to work very hard for it. And I'm sure I can make a lot of good improvements in 13 weeks for the Olympia. And Jay told me I should change my mindset. Like, don't think of them as like only your idols and stuff. Because when I did my first Olympia in '99, he was like that. But then 2 years later, he's second place. So anything is possible. And I gotta stop seeing them like on a pedestal. Hey, wait a minute, I'm being compared with them, the best in the world. It's a fact. So I gotta put that in my head and be more confident in myself. And he said, try to see in each and every one of them something you can beat them at. So I got Dexter on the calves at least, you know.
That's a great mindset. You should always respect and appreciate the guys you're competing with, but don't be afraid to beat them. You know, you just went in and proved that you can beat a great lineup of guys. So one more question for you is, when you're done with bodybuilding, have you thought about WWE wrestling? You look like Macho the Randy Savage.
Well, actually, back in 2015, DJ from WWE and Triple H, they kind of reached out and they wanted me to do the new Tough Enough series they're coming out, because they brought it back. And I was going to do it, but then like I partied too much and I relapsed and stuff. I couldn't do it. I would have been 8 weeks in LA doing the wrestling stuff, and that would have been another career. But I love bodybuilding. And the things with wrestling is that you see a show once a week, a SmackDown once a week. They're doing that show 3 times a week. Only one is televised. So they're doing like 150, 100 and 150 shows a year. Being thrown around, slammed with chairs on the face. Wait a minute. That's no wonder they're getting all beat up and stuff. Like, really don't want to do that? Like, what's the quality of life? I love being back home with the guys and stuff and just train and just, I love bodybuilding, but the wrestling things, I know I could do. What do you think? Yeah! Yeah, I can slam a chair on your face right now if you want. Yeah.
I think maybe you do once a week a little promo. Let everyone know what you're doing, and you know, your fans will grow even more on your social media. So Dorian, let's talk about you real quick. You got HD. You got a huge coaching business. What else you got going on? I mean, you just signed pretty much anyone that was worth signing, so everyone else is screwed. So tell us about, you know, where you came from. I mean, I've known of your name for a while, but you're a relatively young guy, you know, and you got a huge roster of athletes and now, you know, sponsored athletes. You got a business mind. Where did this all come from?
Oh, geez. The business mind, I've sort of always been like that. I mean, if I even think back to when I was like 12, 13, 14 years old, whether it was like knocking on neighbors' doors, trying to cut their lawn, delivering newspapers, whatever it was. I think it's because I always liked, like, when I was young, it was like, say, dirt bikes or whatever it was. So I always like had a goal to like, I want to save up this much money and buy this. And then as I got older, whether that turned into cars or that turned into homes, whatever it turned into, I was always sort of driven by things. And I always like, I don't know, I like camaraderie, I like helping people, I like building teams. So that sort of like transitioned over the years into, you know, we opened Pure Muscle and Fitness, ton of support with that. We always wanted to do a brand. Yeah, I did. Yeah, before that I had supplement shops. But yeah, I just feel like we've been in a position where we have so many opportunities and we have a great network of people around us and support. And, you know, I just felt it was very fitting with the gym. We were supposed to launch HD Muscle before the gym, but things kind of changed there a little bit. So we did the gym first, then did HD Muscle. And everything just sort of, I don't know, it's, everything just sort of worked out. We have great support all around. Yeah, it's like I'm very, very grateful, very happy for all the opportunities we've been presented. It's been amazing. It's been really awesome.
It has certainly been hugely successful. I'm noticing a common trait with the people that I've been talking to that are really successful is they have their hands involved in many, many different things. Instead of just focusing on one thing, you're spreading it out, so you're increasing your opportunity of success. And clearly you're on to something, and I wish you the best moving forward. Obviously, you too, brother. Thank you guys for coming up.
So for those who don't know, Jose Raymond was one of my first coaches. Yeah. So I met him in Hawaii at a powerhouse because he had a guest post there, and I was like, hey, it's Jose Raymond, by random in the gym. So I went and talked to him. We trained a little bit, right? We did a video, and then I asked you to coach me, and you were actually the one who made me believe I could have a pro card because you downed me in for the annual amateurs. I came second to the overall winner, and I was like, wait a minute, I was one place away from shaking Arnold's hand and getting a pro card. I was like, I can be a pro. And then the following year, I turned pro and stuff, but you were the one who got me shredded the most, actually. I was 233 pounds, I was 23 years old in the super heavyweights and all amateurs, and I really liked that look. It was one of my favorite looks, and it was a good times and stuff, and I really enjoy working with you. So the Boston Mass, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, one more thing, like when you see the success of like Pure Muscle Fitness, HD Muscle, Team HD, like all of that is not possible without Antoine, my sister, my brother, my wife. We have such a big team that makes all that possible. A lot of people think it's Dorian Hamilton, but there's a lot of people behind the scenes that make all that possible.
It's like a big family business, and the cool thing with Dorian is that he wants himself to succeed, but he wants to bring everybody else with him up. That differentiates him from the other people. There's a lot of guys, they want to succeed, they want to put the other down so they have more opportunities, but he's not doing it like that, and I think it's working. He wants to bring everybody up with himself. And he's the reason why I came back. Actually, I came out of rehab in 2017, my fourth rehab, and I only did 3 of them before that, then I fucked up again, and then I do another one. He still took me back, helped me out, he said, let's do Toronto Pro together. And then I came back, and we got 4th, and then this is why I was like, I am back, I finally made it. But it's because he likes to help people, genuinely help people, and I think that's why the brand is our motto is like, integrity is everything. You know, if you're true to yourself and stuff, and you want to really help people for the reason of helping them, I think that's a positive thing to do, and then this is when it starts to work. You know, it's like somebody pushing your brand they don't like. It's never going to work. But if you can see, you can feel they really love the products, you're more prone to buy, right? So, you know, we're all about positivity and, you know, making the industry better, and I think we're doing a good job right now. And everybody here is part of that. They're all happy to be here, hanging out, taking pictures and stuff. So thanks for coming, guys, and I hope you have fun today.
Thank you, guys.